Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
If you happen to see that video from earlier today, I was talking about these massive monthly checks that would go out to the low income and fixed income. Here's what's interesting about that video. I've been reading through a lot of the comments on that video, and I've been talking about how these massive checks would actually equal out to $70,000 each and every year. Yeah, kind of interesting concept, right? If you saw that video, you know all the details about this. Basically, what it comes down to is a negative income tax. So this idea was actually brought up many decades ago, and it's been circling around once again as I came across it, talking about how we could actually level the playing field for the low income and the fixed income, and essentially give the money necessary to bring everybody up to essentially the median household income. It's a very interesting concept, but here's what's interesting about it. By the way, if you didn't see that video, I would say go back and watch it simply because it's very interesting with all these ideas and concepts that are floating around out there right now. But anyway, I laid out all the details in that video, so check that one out if you didn't see it. But here's the deal. I've been reading through the comments on that video, and a lot of you are reaching out saying, what a joke. I mean, seriously, we're trying to get monthly checks right now in the amount of $250 or $300, and they're not even doing that. We've been asking them, we've been begging them, we've been pleading for a one-time $2,000 stimulus check, and they haven't even done that. Yeah, right, that they're going to give us $70,000 a year. Yeah, you know what? I completely agree with that. I highly doubt something like this would actually happen anytime soon. If it does, it's probably not coming for a very long time. But my point is, that was one of those concepts that I wanted to lay out in that video, because yet again, just another one of these things that's floating around out there right now to help the low income and the fixed income, or people that are struggling right now. So anyway, I like to share these ideas and these things that I come across during my research, but I also like to make it very clear in those videos, just like I did in that one earlier today, that highly doubt something like this will actually happen. First off, we need to get to first base, which is at least a monthly check in the amount of $250, $300, $500, something like that, before we can jump out and talk about $4,000+ a month. That sure would be nice though, right? Anyway. Sorry, I know, I digress for a minute, but seriously, I've been reading your comments on that, and a lot of you have been saying, seriously, what a joke, why is this even coming up right now? Yeah, it's very interesting, but again, just wanted to share with you the things that I was finding. Alright, so, let's quickly talk about the announcement that came out today. So, in yesterday's video, I talked about how the United States and allies were talking about releasing 60 million barrels of oil to help alleviate gas prices that all of us are paying right now, and likely going much higher. Well, here's the thing. Today alone, the price of one barrel of oil went up significantly. Yesterday, it breached $100 per barrel. Today, $106 a barrel. So it went up significantly today alone. Here's the deal. I think it was last week one day. I'm not sure exactly which day it was. Maybe it was over the weekend. I'm not really sure when I said this. But a few days ago, I was out in a video and I said, hey, if there's any way you can get out to the store now and buy a little bit of extra food, if there's any way you can top off your gas tank, if there's any way that you can buy a few things now, and again, this was a few days ago, I was saying I would highly recommend getting out and doing it now before prices go up. Well, that was a pretty good call. Again, I'm not trying to give myself a pat on the back. I'm not doing that at all. I'm simply saying, based on the research that I was finding, we saw this coming. So here's the deal. Gas prices are going through the roof here very soon here. So especially with these crude prices going up significantly today, like $6 a barrel, that's a ton, and it's all going to be related into the gas prices that we're all going to unfortunately pay here going forward. But here's what happened today. Now, yesterday they floated the idea of releasing 60 million barrels of oil to help alleviate and lower the prices of gas. Here's what they've decided. They're doing it. They're going to release 60 million barrels of oil. However, the United States is releasing 30 million barrels of those ourselves, and the other allies of the United States will be releasing the other 30 million barrels. So, not sure when this is going to take place and how much it's actually going to impact prices, but let's be real with ourselves, it's probably not going to impact prices all that much, and if it does, it's probably not going to be all that substantial. Maybe 10, 15, maybe 20, maybe 25 cents, but it's probably going to be relatively short-lived. So just want to let you know, this is what they've decided. They will go forward with the 30 million barrels here in the United States, and it should help out with gas prices a little bit for maybe a little while. But again, just want to let you know the latest details on that. All right, so let's talk about President Biden and the State of the Union address that will be coming down here in just a matter of a couple hours. So he will be addressing Congress and us, the American people, and I'll certainly be watching that very closely. So anyway, apparently he's going to be addressing with a four-pronged approach. So here's what it's going to look like. Again, this is based on what we're finding as of now. I have no clue what the president's going to say. I have not seen the transcript. I'm just based on what the information is that has already been released to us. Again, we don't know what's going to be totally included in this. But here's what we do know. Two of the four prongs that he's going to be talking about is, number one, bolstering the supply chain. In other words, by bolstering the supply chain, it would help alleviate some of these prices as far as this massive inflation that we continue to see right now. And number two of the four pillars, or prongs, I should say, of this four-prong plan is to lower prices for everyday Americans right now and help lower the prices on essentially everything going forward. And they did lay out a few of the different focused areas, as I mentioned in that video a little bit earlier. So again, basically what it looks like as of right now. So remember the Build Back Better agenda, right? Well, it's not the Build Back Better agenda anymore. That is gone. It is not going to be referred to. According to what I found, the president apparently will not be using those words in tonight's speech. Maybe he will. I'm not really sure, but again, based on what I said, they're not going to be using that language anymore. But rather, he's going to be calling on Congress for legislation to do all these things that we're talking about here. Now again, here's what it comes down to. The Build Back Better agenda was the stimulus package, right? This was the $2 trillion stimulus package. So basically, they're not going to refer to it as the Build Back Better agenda or the stimulus package pretty much anymore. They're going to refer to it as legislation. So that's basically what they're going to do. They're changing the language as of right now, calling it legislation. Now, they're probably going to give it some fancy, cute name at some point here going forward, but we don't know what that's going to be. So, as I mentioned in that video earlier, we have no clue what the president will mention. However, I do know this much. He will be mentioning specific items out of the Build Back Better agenda. I know that for a fact because that's what I've seen in the information that has been released so far. He will be focusing on maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 provisions out of the Build Back Better agenda, and he'll be calling on Congress to send those to him in forms of legislation. Now again, I want to make it very clear. We have no idea if there will be any talk of any type of relief to the American people in the form of direct payment. So I just want to make it very clear here before we get into this meeting and the announcements and this State of the Union address out of the president. I have no clue. So I just want to let you know, please do not count on something being announced for a stimulus check. Honestly, we have no clue what the president is going to say. In fact, he's probably not going to say anything directly in relation to a direct payment. I'm just being honest with you. He's probably not going to say that directly unless he does say it. I mean, if he did happen to say something like that, it'd be a perfect platform to say it because a lot of people are going to be listening, and this may be what he would need to secure the attention and kind of the approval of the American people, as well as a lot of people going forward into the midterm elections. Again, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to put words out there saying this is what he will say because I have no clue what he's going to say. All I do know is that he will be talking to Congress and asking them to send him legislation as far as those provisions out of the Build Back Better agenda. We do know that. How expensive or how extensive will those calls be? I don't really know that. We don't know. A couple hours from now, we will know all the details of that. So, again, I want to come back here, lay it all out for you because I've been reading through the comments on that previous video from a few hours ago today, and I've seen some people reaching out saying, I wonder if he's going to announce a stimulus check. Again, as I mentioned in that video, if there's any kind of payment like that, again, I highly doubt it's going to be announced as a stimulus check. If anything like that were to be announced, again, I have no clue if it will be or what may be included in this speech tonight, but I just want to let you know, it's probably going to be referred to as something completely different if there is some type of direct payments. He'll probably talk about the child tax credit payments. So again, just wanted to let you know that if he starts talking about reinstating monthly checks, that's probably what he's referring to, is those child tax credit payments. However, we also have to remember too that there has been talk about adult tax credit payments, which would essentially be the same thing as a child tax credit payment, except it would be focused on low-income adults. So again, good stuff right there. So it'll be interesting, and the truth will be told here in just a couple hours. So I'll be back a little bit later with all the details on that. I'm going to listen to it probably a couple times. So my next video will probably be a little bit later than usual, simply because I want to listen to it, get all the details for you, hammer it out, and bring it back to you, just kind of in a short, clear, concise type of video, so we can all be on the same page with everything going on.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.